Good morning, all. So, in this session, we are going to discuss about custodians. What is the role of custodian in capital market business or investment business? How custodians they are supporting to the fund managers or brokers, or I would say HNA investors who invest in market, in a large value. So we'll decode custodian roles and responsibilities and how custodians they are adding values in this business to be more to maintain more transparency or safety and security of your digital assets. So we'll see that. All right. So let's start with the discussion. So when we say custodian, why custodian come into picture? Let's see that. And institutional investors. When we say institution, it means institutions. It can be your hedge fund business, mutual fund business, pension fund business, pension fund, right? Even HNI, individual net worth, high net worth individuals like Rakesh Junjunwala or KDR, right? They are the big investors. Then family houses, and lastly, pension fund, insurance companies or any other institutions, right? Any other institutions who is willing to invest or who want to willing to invest in security market. So that institution would be institutional investors. So because they are institutions, they are registered, their institution or company as an institution. That's what those investors comes under institute, right? Institutional investors is an organization that invests its own assets or those it holds in trust for others. So basically institutions invest money in different variety of assets and they own that assets, or maybe sometime they own their assets on the behalf of their other investors as well. So typically institutional investors are investment companies including mutual funds, pension funds, insurance companies, universities, banks, and etc. So I hope now you got the answer about what it means institutional investor is. All right, now let's talk about the custodian. The custodian means safekeeping of assets. So this refers to keep the assets in safe zone or safe place. And there are two main reasons why banks are originally responsible for custody. Why your banks it means let's say HDFC banks, ICICI banks, right? BNY, they are banks, or even State Street. First, you need a vault in order to immobilize the assets if physical. So vault it means actually locker. So each and every bank has a locker facility, right? For example, let's say if you want to keep your durable goods or currencies in a bank, so bank will assign locker to you, so that locker comes under your custody because bank will provide safety and security to your durable goods or any other golds or any precious metals if you're holding, and if you want, or any even property documents as well. If you want somebody or someone who can provide custody and safekeep services to your goods or to your, let's say, any digital assets or assets, documents, or anything as such, then you can approach banks to assign locker or vault to you. Once you have a vault, then secondly, because it implies the exchange between cash and securities. And why that custodian or bank's roles come in picture? Because for a cash dealing, you required banks, and second is even if you want to deposit securities, physical shares of securities, then again banks plays crucial role to provide safekeep or security to your securities. All right, now I hope now you got the idea about what is custodian or how custodian works. Second thing, then what about custodian? Custodian, it means we have discussed it, but what about the custodial services and why different services come into picture and how? So let's See, as a custodian, they hold the assets. As a custodian, they hold your digital assets. Digital assets, it means they hold your dividend, they hold your bonds investment, treasury investments, even they hold the your equities or different securities, preference shares, obligations. They hold everything. And when you have institutions, when you registered business as an institution business, so it means it's mandate to appoint custodian to safekeep your services. But apart from your safekeep, apart from protection to the investments, what are the other services custodians they offer to the businesses? So let's look at those services. As a custodian, they provide incomes, they process corporate actions, they process even tax payments, because custodians work as a tax collector agent, for funds or businesses. So it means on behalf of governments, they collect the taxes and transfer the taxes amounts to the government. And that's what, if you see, if I take the example of Citibank, BNY, they hire peoples, to reconcile tax breaks or to perform reconciliations between investors and government, treaty accounts or designated dividends accounts, even to reconcile tax benefits or tax payments and process it out to the correct accounts. So basically, custodian works as a tax collector agent of government, and they collect taxes on investments. Second, custodian process dividends and interest payment on different different securities, because we keep securities in accounts, and that's what they know it, how to process dividends and income interest payments on securities and all. Second thing, custodian track all different variety of corporate actions, and even they sometimes process as well, because the issuers or the big institutions, they appoint custodians to arrange cash payments, even payments or payouts of different securities on behalf of that issuer, and they appoint it. So basically, your custodians is not limited to safekeep, but also they are they have a capacity, or they are aligned to process income processing, corporate action, and taxes benefits as well. All right. Another big the task or functions that you would see in custodian is to process or record the positions. Record the positions, it means if you have any positions in CLOs, CDOs, even in IPOs, FPOs, further public offering. So you basically, custodians helps you to take a position in all other different events by providing escrow account facility to mitigate the risk which is involved in that particular trades and all. And that's what your custodian rules. As I said, custodians, they are helping businesses to bring more transparency and even to manage and reduce risk as well. All right. Another big task that you would see which comes under your custodian functions is trade captures. Basically, custodian works with clearing agents, and they help to capture trades. Because for big or institutional investors, only banks manage cash part, cash in and cash out. All activities, means cash management activities, will be managed by the custodian. They manage it basically, and when they manage it, means they basically authorize the payment, in or out payment, in designated accounts of funds. And that's what your custodian rules come in picture, to capture trades from the clearing corporation sides. They help you to capture the trades, and also they help you to calculate the payout, in or out payment, payout, cash payout on certain trades or transactions. And they also authorize payment on behalf of you. So as a fund manager, you can send instructions to the bank, and bank will arrange or process payments on behalf of you. This function is also that you would see under custodian business line. Next one is protect the investments to gain ownership. So on settlement, it basically that security that will goes in your custodian account, So it means custodian take the control of your securities and it will hold under custodial, obligations. So it means you don't need to worry about, safety and security of your investment. And that's what global custodians or custodians role come into picture to protect your investments and all. I hope now you got the idea about how custodian works or what is custodian and what is the role of custodian, right? So I'll tell you, BNY and State Street Corporation, they are the largest custodian in the world. And apart from that, you would see many more as well. But if you're looking for a job in custodians, then it must, it's mandate that you should know about how custodian works and what are their business lines and what they primarily, do in this market. All right. So let's see a little bit more, about different services that the custodian offers. As I said, custodian, it's like agent, usually a bank that play role as a custodian, which receives, deliver, and safekeep cash and securities for its clients. And the custodian is also responsible for the maintenance of securities while they are under custody. So let's see few services that in details. Receipts and deliveries. What it means, receipt and deliveries. Receipts and deliveries of securities and cash are done only upon instructions or authorization of the client or the client's authorized investment manager. And this transaction usually involves a trade, that is purchase or sell of securities or cash. And when a security is purchased and the security is received in and cash is delivered out, when the security is sold, the security is delivered out and cash is received in. So cash itself can be purchased and sold as an investment in the context of foreign exchange. So basically, in terms of cash in and out, cash in and cash out, your custodian that manage all that activities, custodians, cash management team or a treasury management team, they take care of it and they help fund manager to buy and sell the securities against cash in and cash out. So basically they authorize payments and also they accept the securities as well under their custody accounts. All right. So next one is Safekeep. As you know, the Safekeep is famous one functions. Securities under custody must be protected in a secure environment regardless of whether they are held physically or electronically. So it means if you have a physical security, then of course that you can store in wallet or vault. And if you have a digital securities, it means you can digitally store them in the secure that custodian's account. Securities held physically are generally kept in vault at the custodian bank or in a sub-custodian bank hired by the primary custodian, and securities held in book entry are recorded on the books of the depository as being in the account of the custodian. And once securities have been purchased and received into safekeeping, the custodian is responsible for the maintenance of these assets as it's pertain to registration, income collection, and corporate action. So once you hold the securities of any client in your under security or safekeep obligation, so it means basically in your vault, then that custodian is responsible for corporate action and income collection on behalf of that particular clients as well. So this is how your custodian's role come into picture. What next? Then income. As I said, as a fund managers or institutions or even individual investors, they invest for an income purpose as well. All right. One major custodial responsibility is the timely crediting of income payment. Income payment, it means dividend and interest payment due to the client from investment held in the client's portfolio. Custodians need to be aware of any income event affecting securities under their care, and this is often accomplished by the contracting for the service of various information agents who provide, among other thing, information regarding the terms of securities issue, income schedule, or a dividend announcement. So basically, custodians help to to collect the income basically or process the incomes, dividends, or interest payments on different variety of securities. Third is corporate action, as we have discussed. So that comes under your maintenance. Basically, if you hold any securities and if corporate action announced, then you will have to take care of that corporate actions as well. A corporate action on a security can have a significant impact on the value of the security and therefore on the value of the client's portfolio, monitoring and accurately processing corporate actions on securities held under custody is one of the important responsibility of a custodian, and the custodian must be aware of any pending action which could affect any security being held on behalf of any client. Monitoring for corporate actions, those become a significant element of custodial functions. Most custodians have contracted with a variety of news service or information agents in order to receive daily information regarding corporate action events. Further information might be obtained from the depositories, sub-custodians, or event issues. So basically, your custodians, which are there, they are primarily responsible to process corporate action benefits on holded securities. So still, if you are not able to understand what is custodian, if I talk about HDFC, right? HDFC comes under your custodian because they are allowed to hold your securities, they are allowed to hold your cash, they are allowed to hold your precious goods, metals, right? Any institutions who registered under Safekeep or custodian, custodian agreement or custodian, regulations, so that institution should be your custodian basically. And banks, they are by default work as a custodian for your different financial instruments. All right. So it means, in short, custodians, they are primarily responsible for trade processing, income processing, corporate actions, safekeeping, and the most important is your accounting services. The custodian may also provide accounting services to the client, although this service is not necessarily part of every custodial contract. This accounting can include pricing of securities in the portfolio on daily basis, weekly or monthly basis, keeping track of expenses, accruals, and payments, capital purchases or contributions and disbursements, and calculating the net assets value of the portfolio, also known as fund pricing. So it means your custodians can offer this business line of services to the fund managers if they are interested. So it means you will have to opt it out, and that's what custodians like BNY, custodians like State Street or other institutions, they hire fund accountants, to manage their trade and settlement support, to their clients. Even, fund accounting, under fund accounting, they also hire fund accountants to monitor security movements, pricings, and even to produce, net assets value of the products. Custodians hire, as I said, they hire analysts to, authorize payments. So it means payment, which is one of the big business line, they hire so that you can, verify the instructions and process payments to your clients on timely manner. So this is what your jobs come into picture. All right. So I hope now you got the idea about what is custodian, what are the different functions of custodians, and how they work. All right. So now the next question is for you, because that I'll definitely cover in my next session. So just, try to answer it if you can. What is sub custodian, and how your sub custodian, they are helping businesses to bring more transparency in capital market or financial business. So try to answer it in comment section, or what is custodian and all, because this question was asked in the one of the interview, and that's what I thought, like, let's take this question as well. But I'll answer this question in my next series. So before that, you can try to answer it. You can try to answer it in my comment section. And lastly, I would humbly request, if you like this video, don't forget to click on bell icon and even like as well. So if you comment it, then only YouTube will help me to, grow and reach to the broader audience, because our main intention is to help people to understand the complex financial terms. That's what we are here, and that's what we have started this channel as well. So if you like this initiative, so please do like and share this content with others. And if you're looking for any course as such, please